Hello there, and welcome back to my Silksong talk. I wanted to make the same joke as last time, but it would be old by now. Now, you might be asking, why do I want to talk about the story of Silksong after I already did in the first video? Well, in that one, I went over multiple talking points in quick succession and only talking about them briefly. Thus, I wanted to take some of the things I talked about in that video, alongside a bunch more, and create videos for them, with this one focusing on the story aspect of Silksong. What will I talk about in this video? I'll talk about what aspects of the story might appear or carry over from Hollow Knight, and then I'll go into some speculation about the story of Silksong itself. Major speculations? Not really, because we have very little information about the story itself, and I don't really want to go too deep down the rabbit hole of theories. A small disclaimer before I begin. I don't like to think of myself as a huge lore master of Hollow Knight, and as such I might make some mistakes when talking about the lore during this video. I'll try to minimize the damage as much as possible. Also, if you do end up enjoying the video, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Thank you. Now, for the first part, let's take a look at what lore might appear in Silksong that was also present in Hollow Knight. Well, the first and biggest part will be Hornet herself. She was born and raised in Hallownest after all, so by learning more about her backstory, we will see, or at least hear, more about Hallownest and its history. Tied to this are two subjects. The first being Hornet's name origin, which initially it was believed that she's named this way because it was given to her by Vespa. This was because of a cut piece of dialogue where it was said that Hornet was the daughter of the three queens, birthed by Hera, raised by the White Lady, and trained by Vespa. This for now though is cut content and not canon. But we do know that Silksong will go into details about Hornet's name origin, so we might get more information and this might become canon after that. The second bit tied to Hornet's origins are the weavers that lived in Deepnest, and now appear once again in Farlum. We know that once the infection started, the weavers left Hallownest, and it seems that they arrived back to Farlum. I do wonder if the reason the weavers left Farlum to begin with was the haunting that is talked about, as Farlum is called the Haunted Kingdom a couple times. It could be that this is somewhat similar to the Radiance's infection. Hornet being the main character brings a lot of heavy lore with it. All the Knight really had was that they were a vessel born of Golden Void, and that's pretty much it. Speaking of Void, did you guys know that Hornet is entirely made of... Okay, bad jokes aside, I do wonder if it's possible that Void will appear in Silksong. From what I can recall, it is never stated that the only Void reservoir is the one beneath Hallownest. Plus, Void could quite easily seep through not only rocks, but possibly even dream areas. The White Palace being an area inside Dream, but the Void still managed to gain control in there, even if only from the King's molds. More underground pockets of Void could exist around other areas of the world, and since at this point we know of two civilizations that use the Void, one for worship and one for experimentation, would it be possible that, just like worms, the Void attracts people to it? The focus in Farlum will most likely be on Silk, Weavers, and their spells, so Void might or might not make an appearance, or it could appear but be secondary to the main power of Silk and Song. What is the opposite of Void? The Radiance and the Dream World. My next question would be if the Dream World and Dream Essence would make an appearance in Silksong. The reason I even brought it up is because the Dream Realm might be a universal constant, and not just something that is tied to Hallownest. Technically, that is confirmed that the Green Troop, whose power comes from a similar source, it being the King Nightmare Heart. Speaking of the Green Troop, do you guys think that Green will make an appearance? It's unlikely, but possible. The reason Green even came to Hallownest is because the kingdom was nearing its death. The troop travels to dying kingdoms in order to get the red flames and create a new Grim to take place of the old one. The problem is that Farlum is not really nearing its death. It's haunted and slowly dying, but it's still lively enough to the point that I don't think the Green Troop would appear. It's always possible that through the events of the story that will take place, Farlum might be brought to the brink of destruction and we might see the Green Troop then. Let's also address the endings of Hollow Knight a bit. Way back in the good old days of 2017, an AMA took place in which Ari answered a question about which ending is canon. Now, his answer was that all endings are equally canon, and while that might sound weird, it actually works out with Silksong as a sequel. For example, the hardest ending to really justify is the Sealed Siblings ending. But there are still destroying butterflies, as it has been seen in the trailers. Now, it could always be possible that Team Cherry decided to change things up a bit and actually consider a specific ending for Silksong. Or we might just go full MCU and get a multiverse. You know, each ending being canon in their own universe, and Silksong only following one specific ending in one specific universe, while leaving the other endings to be equally canon in their own universe. I know, crackpot theory after crackpot theory, but hey, that's what this video's all about, baby. In the second half, I want to go with some wild speculation. Not much, just a tiny bit. We know very little about the story that will be presented throughout Farlum, but we do have some small pieces. The assassins hunting Hornet at the orders of possibly the same master that Steel Soul Jin has, the Citadel wanting to kidnap Hornet because of her connection to the Weavers, and also Seth protecting a big something, secret, whatever, at the bottom of the Citadel, and most likely will play a big role in the story. Though, weirdly enough, I believe that the speculation section will be smaller than the one where I talked about what might come back, since going too far into speculating will just lead to disappointment. We do know that side quests similar to the Zod one will be a thing again, possibly Garmond and Zaza being a part of this, alongside Sherma. The big bad evil guy at the top of the Citadel might actually want Hornet not just because of her connection to the Weavers, but also because alongside that, Hornet is also half higher being. It's possible that gives Hornet a lot more control over Silk and possibly Silk related spells to the point she might be more powerful than the Weavers by the end of the story. There's also the question as to what higher beings we will meet in Farlum. There are those butterflies that can break seals, which might be connected to a higher being, but we can't really know. The big bad evil guy itself might be a higher being, since it's able to curse the inhabitants of Farlum by using Silk and Song. Also, we still don't have that good of a grasp on where the Grey Mourner came from, alongside the fragile flowers. Those flowers are still a mystery, as they are for sure connected to something bigger. No normal flower can just teleport someone randomly. There's also the aforementioned assassins and their masters. It's entirely possible that the assassins were hired by the Citadel, but the Citadel sort of kidnapped Hornet to begin with. It could be that there are two separate factions in the Citadel, or one in the Citadel and one slightly lower, one which wants to kill Hornet and one which wants to bring Hornet to Farlum for their own means. Or it's possible, initially, the Citadel wanted to kidnap Hornet, but then later, throughout the story, they hired the Steel Soul Assassins to kill her because they could no longer contain her to begin with. As I said, there isn't much there to begin with. I could go ahead and jot down a whole story synopsis, But when the game comes out, and I'm utterly wrong for that, I don't want to look like a total fool. But why didn't I speculate about the map or other parts of Silksong? Well, that is because I do plan on making future videos like this one, where I talk about other aspects of Hollow Knight. With Silksong being delayed, I actually have more time to do these now. Either way, I do hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.